Welcome back to the 14A Sports Radio Show.
Leroy Jenkins in the house.
Uh-oh. Everybody welcome Nipsey to the table.
What's up, everybody?
Let's go.
Big happy birthday to Richie K.
Thank
you,
right.
sir.
But
Can't wait to get down that cake when we're done here.
Hey, Nips,
all right.
real quick, you were at the Giants game. How was the atmosphere?
it was good for the terribleness that game was.
Did you go to the pig roast in the parking lot?
We didn't go to the pig roast. We were gonna try to stop by, but we were in lot J, so it was kind of like on the other end of the tailgating. But Karin, I'm gonna like the pig. We'll see if it rolls over to this weekend. But good crowd, a little colder than you would thought, but the crowd was into it, even though not much to cheer for, except for obviously got the W, but
Yeah.
sloppy looking at
boring
best.
game. Yeah.
All right, let's get into it right now. It is time for the NFL Pick'em Chug. I love it.
We gotta get a good name for this segment.
NFL
Walsh
Pick 'em
loves
Chug.
those horns.
I do. That's my favorite noise of all time. All right, so let's recap. Right now, Richie K, our first perfect week of the season.
actual
4-0,
perfect one.
Yeah,
not a 3-0-1, but a perfect
Solid.
4-0.
The kid writes his picks on a Walmart receipt, and his analysis on every game is people suck, and the kid goes 4-0. It's really unbelievable.
Like I told you, 22-6 on that pick'em sheet that I do. It's
And-
not
All right,
hard.
stop fucking bragging.
And
Yeah,
on this
yeah,
show,
yeah.
7-0-1 the last two.
Unbelievable.
So,
Hey, Rich, nice job, buddy.
Thank
Well
you,
done.
sir.
See what happens when you don't drink?
Might have to take the parentheses off the expert for Richie K.
Oh, hey. Never said expert.
Well, you're picking like one right now.
Absolutely.
Hey, but you know what's funny? You know how hard picking games is? Colin Cowherd, Walsh loves him. He has a blazing 5, and last year
So he's like,
he
yeah.
went like 70% picking games. Vegas even like took notice and was like, keeping track of his picks. You know what he was this year before this week? 8-22-1
yeah.
for the year, man.
Yeah, no,
so
I mean,
So it
it's-
happens.
that's how hard it is to pick these games. The NFL, the parity, the injuries, the inconsistency, it's difficult. And I think the other thing is too, Vegas is so good at setting the lines, man.
Oh,
They're just so good.
They're doing
Easy.
amazing.
Like if you don't buy that point in a lot of these situations or the half.
Thank
a point,
God we have an unlimited fund of
That's
points.
right.
Walsh thinks
And
you
I
can buy
know-
like 4.
And I was telling Molly earlier, the favorites this season right now, 52, 51, and 2 right now in the
so
game.
you're right down
It's
the middle,
amazing.
basically.
I think I said 72.
Yeah, you
all
said
that.
70,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
it's
yeah, I wrote it down. It's 52, 51.
Well, that's exactly what Vegas wants, man.
Yeah.
Split the games.
Unbelievable. Right
Take the
down the
big.
middle.
You want to hear the nice parlay we had for Monday night? We had
Sure.
the Giants with the over.
Okay.
So with that going,
Yeah, the Giants
that
were
up.
the
Hook that
Giants
up.
covered. That was 3.
with little preseason NBA basketball to the Knicks. They also lost, and then I don't know the Penguins. I don't know what they even did, but we had them in there, and
Oh, they lost the Avalanche.
fucking
Yeah, so
Mount
they-
Loyola.
Damn. That
It-
sucks.
if we would have won like 4,000 on 250 though. So I mean, you got to take bets like
You
that.
definitely bet like UC Santa Barbara and shit. College basketball, don't you? I do.
It wasn't my idea for the bet, but I didn't want to go against.
You
the
got to
crowd.
get down with it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you have like a team
Yeah,
bet?
there was like 5 of us in,
Yeah.
$50 each.
Nice. Well, not nice since it didn't win, but
No.
what are you gonna do?
I think you should drink a whole munchin for that
Oh,
silly
man,
fucking bet.
Just fill up the.
All right,
top.
so who's Rock Reigns in this evening?
All right, come on. It's my role. Why
All right.
why do we even ask anymore?
I don't know.
A little disrespectful.
Oh, stop it. All right, so let's recap Molly's picks from last week.
All right.
He went 3-1 last week. Had the Giants -3 over Minnesota, the
Nice.
San Diego Chargers -7 over Jacksonville, and the over 55 in the Denver Indy game. Lost on the upset special.
I'll tell you,
just barely, but Cleveland.
Well, what happened in that game? I was watching it. It was a 10-point line. Cleveland makes a charge. Cameron scores a touchdown. Then here they come again, right? They go for a 4th down. Weed makes a throw to Greg Little, who Greg Little's terrible.
Yeah.
He puts it on his back hip. He threw it behind him, threw it on his back hip.
Yeah,
Greg Little drops the ball.
Let's
What
not
else?
pretend Whedon is anything good.
But-
I mean,
but, you know
Jason
what?
Campbell. I don't know. You guys were talking about him before, but with him playing, I don't.
So, yeah, I mean, Green Bay dominated that game, but Cleveland was it. They were right in there for the cover, backdoor style, but it didn't happen. So I'll go
that
3-1. I'll take 3-1 every week. So I owe one. I owe one to the pot. So
You wanna do the mini munchin?
yeah, I'm
can get
only
a
a mini munchin today.
All right.
So while I do my mini munchin, let me give you my first pick. I've been, you know what, that Denver offense. They had a bad game last game, and still they put up incredible. Peyton still threw for 375. They still scored a ton of points.
Yeah.
Denver, Washington. We talked about RG3 a little bit. That Washington offense coming into its own. RG3, they're running the spread. They ran the ball very effectively. Jordan Reed, Pierre Garçon, the overs 57.5. I'm sorry. The over on the 57.5. I'm going over. Denver, Washington as my first go round. So you could analyze that all you want. I will mini munch.
I like that. I definitely like Washington. I like, obviously Denver's been scoring points all year. I mean, looking to bounce back after last week. I mean, surprising. I was really impressed by the Colts again after looking terrible against San Diego on the road. I mean, to go ahead and beat Peyton in his own house. I mean, homecoming and all. Andrew Luck having probably the best game of his career, you might want to say.
He has to do this in one. He's got to do it in one. Oh, man,
No,
that's a timely one.
That's
Way to go, Mullen. Way to go.
50 and a half.
Was there any doubt?
57.
57. We'll do 57 by the half point.
I'm taking a half.
By the half point.
Yeah,
The unlimited half point.
Denver is likely to score 40 on their own, and you get 17.
Yeah.
18
Washington put
out
up
of
45 last week.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was thinking.
I like both offenses, both clicking.
All right.
I love that.
All right, Richie, you want to go out? I'll set up the big munch in for
All right.
my
Now, hold
penalties
up.
from
Now,
last week.
Nipsey, before you go, what did you miss last week?
All right, so I had Denver,
Okay.
-7. I had Chiefs, -6.
Oh.
Had St. Louis as my upset special. And then I only covered with the G-men. So,
All right.
yeah.
Three beers.
I'll be here for a little bit.
And your
Maybe
first
I
pick
wanna go
this
around
week?
Yeah, give us your first one.
I'll take Detroit. Actually, at home
Okay.
versus the Cowboys. The Cowboys looked ugly
Give
last
us a
week.
line. Give us a line.
-3. I got it at.
Okay.
Cowboys looked ugly last week. I mean, Eagles offense couldn't really do anything. Nick Foles winds up going out of that game. Matt Barkley comes back in, looks terrible.
Oh, yeah.
3 picks.
Yeah. In one quarter.
But I really liked Romo last week going in. He was in my picks pool. I picked him over Luck, which grind me all day. But
Really grinds my gears.
but I was surprised how bad they looked versus the Eagles D, and so I think at Detroit at home, after that tough loss for Cincy,
Yep.
I think they pull this one out. I think it's close, but I think they cover the 3.
Okay.
All right, interesting.
Go ahead.
I like your pick there because Dallas, they've been bitten by the injury bug a bit here in the season, and they've been getting by so far. But going against Detroit, I see them losing this one. And
Murray's
Detroit
out.
covering.
Murray's still out.
Yeah, until saying game time.
Yeah,
but
probably,
he's probably going to be out.
Probably going to be out another 2, but you got to look at Dallas last week. 2 wins against division opponents the last 2 weeks. Now they beat.
They've gotten it done when they had to, but
yeah.
it's catching up.
They
to them,
have
I
huge
think.
rivalries within their own division. I mean, anytime that people play the Dallas Cowboys, they're going to get their A game. Last week, 2 weeks ago, they beat the Redskins in a high-profile game. Last week, they beat the Eagles. I don't know if they're going to get up for the Lions the same way that they did the previous 2 weeks. So
Well,
I agree
Dallas
with that
is
as
firmly
well.
control that division right now.
1 game lead.
They're the best team right now. Even though Washington, I think their offense is getting going, that Washington defense and the Eagles defense, a lot of holes.
Atrocious.
A lot of holes.
Atrocious.
I think Dallas has the most talent in that division. Now, Dallas hasn't, when's the last time Dallas closed out a season effectively? Who knows? But right now, they're in the driver's seat. No doubt
The
about it.
numbers after November 1st are ridiculous in Romo's career with the Cowboys.
Look at that guy.
Yeah, that's a sexy munching.
All right, Rich, why don't you go with your first one while he take a few deep breaths and let it rock.
You want to do some jumping jacks while you're at it, bro?
I will be taking the Pittsburgh Steelers to keep moving on up. I think they're turning around. -2.5 against the Raiders. I know it's in Oakland, but
Want a
as I
half
said,
point?
I think no, I'm taking 2.5.
All right.
I think the Steelers are starting to turn it around a little bit, make a little bit of a push here, and beat Oakland. So Oakland sucks.
Hey, it worked. It worked.
Excellent analysis, as always.
On the other end there, I'm taking Oakland for the upset.
Oh, so
Oh.
we got beers and tequila on this one.
Yeah. Rich, can you
Me
do
versus
tequila?
Richie K, tequila.
Sure, yeah.
Can you?
I could do the worm.
We might have to get
High
you
in
some
protein.
Yeah. How about some what beer drinkers drink when they're not drinking beer type beer?
Right.
Yeah, you win on that?
Yeah, O'Doul's.
O'Doul's?
I'm sure we can get a 40 of O'Doul's somewhere around here.
Real quick, did you know Texas Arizona, the bar in Hoboken, sells 40s?
Really?
Yeah, I was there a couple
That's
weeks. It's
interesting.
glorious. Yeah, you sit there with a 40 OE.
Glorious. Do you put it in a paper
HD would
bag?
like it, huh?
Do you put it in a paper bag or
No, but I was there with a girl, and she threw a Jolly Rancher in the middle. Like, remember we used to do back in the Bay days?
Yeah.
You drink half of it, and then you throw a Jolly Rancher in, and you make it. It tastes like
Oh,
you know,
that
Jolly
sounds
Rancher.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty damn good.
This guy used to
not
drink
bad.
Colt 45.
At one point. All right, that was actually the first beer I ever drank.
I remember.
Neither here nor there. All right, I'm going to go with my first pick. Actually, I went 2-2 last week, so as soon as Nipsey's done, I'm going to fill up.
Nips. There
one
you go.
nightgown.
Finish strong, kid.
Look at that. Look at that. Last week I missed with KC -6 over Houston. Almost had that sack fumble.
No, you can't leave the
No,
Mercer.
no,
You
no,
can't
Mercer.
leave the
No
Mercer.
I lost $100 on that damn thing.
Yeah? Oh,
Yeah.
terrible.
They fumbled on the one, and the guy
Who?
rolled
What
him
game?
for the
KC,
Kansas City game
Houston?
at the end. I
Oh,
lost $100 on that, and I knew he was getting up and kneeling on the ball.
And
Son of a
then
bitch.
I also my lock of the week did not hit. Miami -7 over Buffalo. Tannehill looked terrible in that game.
dude, that offensive line stinks.
They were down 14-0 in that one.
They
Didn't get it done.
stink.
But I hit San Francisco.
And we're back.
And then my upset, great pick, Indianapolis +7 over Denver. Got that one outright. But, we're on to this week. I'm going to go with Arizona -3 over Atlanta. Games in Arizona. Arizona plays pretty well. They had the Thursday night game last week. They're going to have a little bit of rest. Atlanta still has a lot of their guys out. So, I think Peterson can lock down Harry Douglas in this one. And, Atlanta going other side of the country. I don't know. I just, a lot of the public likes Atlanta right now, 75%. I'm going to go with Arizona in this one, -3 at home.
Interesting. You remember we did the over-unders. I had Arizona going over 5.5 for the season. So I think, what do they have, 3 wins now? So I'm looking forward to them stringing a couple more together and
I don't know if,
making me a winner on that one.
I don't know if the predictor mentioned it all, but everyone was loving Carson Palmer, or at least Larry Fitz this year with Bruce Arians coming into town, and that has not panned out whatsoever.
No,
Yeah.
Carson Palmer hasn't played well.
I mean, their defense.
overrated.
How you
Palmer.
feeling after that 3, Chug, by the way?
Man, that's it's sitting there.
That's
You
our,
know,
that's
he
our
gets
first
in
3,
you
Chug.
get right back on the mic.
But
You're a professional.
yeah, I mean, Arizona D's looking
Drink
good, but Matt Ryan actually threw for 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Matt
last
Ryan
week
played
with,
very well last
with
week.
Nobody,
It was against the Bucks. Who cares?
nobody threw to
Well,
Harry
you know,
Douglas. May pick up of the week.
You seen a few weeks ago though, Atlanta struggled to stop the Jets at any point during that
Well,
game.
well, their
So what's-
defense
what's
is in
gonna,
shambles.
Yeah, what's going to go on here?
That's what actually
Arizona's got more weapons than the Jets. So
we talked to Epstein. He was predicting a big week out of Larry Fitz this week.
Got 2 rookie corners on Atlanta. So,
Fitzgerald and Floyd. they
all
both
right,
shut the
here we
games,
go.
What do you got, Walsh?
2 in the
A
munchin.
double?
Right? All right, buddy.
All right,
Let's
so-
try to go on 1 here.
Molly, what do you got?
All right, number 2. All right, I'm going Green Bay, Minnesota. 10 points, pretty big line. Don't usually love the big lines, but you saw that Minnesota against the Giants on Monday night. Josh Freeman, just an absolute mess.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't run the ball at all.
Well, I mean, I think Castle's back. For
Castle's
this week,
gonna
though,
play
right?
this
Ponder
week.
Or is it Ponder?
I don't know. Flip a coin.
Yeah, whatever. Their quarterback situation is absolutely a mess. Leslie Frazier,
Needs to lose his job.
how is he a head coach in the NFL right now?
It won't be for long.
Green Bay, they've had Walsh. Well done. Very impressive.
That one was not as smooth as last week.
That was good. That
Solid.
was good.
Solid.
Oh,
You know what?
guys.
I was telling
the eyes.
people that I was like, we have this segment
that
now where
that
we
hurt.
chug beers. And the one kid was just, he goes, "What are you guys, 18 years old?" Is that what you do?
19.
No, we're 29 and we still doing it. But
Next week I bring in the funnel.
Who was that, by the way?
Oh, that I'm in.
I won't name names. I'll tell you after. A kid that doesn't drink. Let me just say that. So I only know like 1 or 2 of them. But anyway,
What a
go back.
salad.
Green Bay, Minnesota. Green Bay. It's a 10-point line. It's a big line. I know Green Bay's had a lot of injuries. They lost a tight end. They lost Cobb out for the year. But as we spoke about Boykin, I think he steps up. Best player in the field is Aaron Rodgers. I think now with Eddie Lacy, I think you're going to see Eddie Lacy have a huge second half of the season. I think he's going to play very well.
This is
and
like
I
playing
think,
against
and,
a practice
and I think
squad.
Minnesota. I think that team. They're just a team on the downside. They're a lot of turmoil. I think
Yeah.
Green Bay goes up big early, and I think Eddie Lacy salts it away. Give me Green Bay laying the 10 points.
Nice.
Okay, so
no.
as we said last week, it's when we have a head-to-head matchup like this, we should be betting beers. Interesting that's going to be my upset special right
Whoa.
there. So we have
Hang
our
on.
we have our first
You
head-to-head
gotta
duel.
find the happy medium here because you got him at 10. You got him at 8.
All right, so you want to do 9?
What's the line?
It's at 8 right now.
Then give me 8.
Fuck.
Yeah, of course they'll take the 8.
All right, so we'll do 8.
No,
Do 8.
the line is the line.
I'm gonna buy it to 5.
I got an unlimited reserve of point bets.
I'm going to buy it to
all
make
right,
it a
8.
pick 'em.
Yeah.
So what do you got?
So that's my number 2. Go ahead,
like
Nips.
All right, so 2 beers on that one.
I like it.
All right.
I like it.
Oh,
Next,
God.
I'm going to take Cincy.
Did you hold on real quick? Did you guys go heads up in a game?
I'm going to Oakland.
are,
He's
yeah.
got Pittsburgh.
They're going heads up too.
All right,
All
we'll
right,
figure
okay.
something out.
We'll figure
during
out
the
something out to
weekends.
check. But so we'll go 2 beers on that.
We
game,
got to
too.
bring a paddle in.
Why
No,
do you
if
wanna
Richie
smack
can't
my
drink, he
ass?
gets paddled. Go back to my old fraternity.
Stop touching my ass.
Bring in a cage.
Thank
Not
you,
one of
sir.
I'm not one of your dates.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Bring a kendo stick in from the WWE.
All right, good. All right.
I'm going to take Cincy at home versus Jets, -7. I think Cincy. I think it's going to be a defensive struggle on both ends. Andy Dalton's been looking great, though. I think threw 2 or 3 touchdown passes in each of the last 2 games. I just think the Jets, got pretty lucky last week. I mean, just with that whole BS penalty call, I'm sure you guys already covered this.
To win the game, but they were right there. There's games in overtime.
No, I think that they got New England's number this year, but.
Ding, ding, ding.
Uh-oh.
We going heads up, Nips.
Oh,
shit. Somebody gonna be drinking.
That's my upset.
Nice.
Oh,
Your
man.
upset's the
We
Jets,
are-
huh?
I'm bringing a case next week.
You've got
I was joking
so
around saying-
180s since week 1, buddy.
Saying I was bringing a beer bowl this week. I
Ding,
might have to
ding,
bring one
ding.
next week.
Now I'm a believer.
That's another deuce.
But I think the Jets are,
Oh, this Halloween
they've been
special
on and
gonna
off.
be freaky.
They basically won. Oh, yeah.
Are we doing happy? Speaking of that, are we doing happy hour at 6:00 and drinking all the way
Oh, my
through?
God.
We might. I don't know.
yeah, why not?
Fair
Play it by
discussion.
ear. All right.
All fair.
We'll be at 7:47 at 6.
Go ahead.
But, I just think that Cincy D is, really good, and I think that
Leon Hall's out.
the Jets will be able to put a point, or won't be able to put a point on Cincy's D.
I think that Cincy front 7. I agree. So that's my upset special to Jets. So I'll get rid of this real quick. But that Cincy D, Leon Hall's out. Andy Dalton, I think, is smoke and mirrors. I think AJ Green is very talented. Andrew Hawkins comes back in 2 weeks, week 9, and I think that's going to be big. But he's not back yet. I like the way the Jets are playing, man. I really do. I think, talk about defense, I think that Jet defense is playing very well. That front 7, the front 7 of the Jets has been all over the place. I like the points. I know it's at Cincy. The Jets haven't won 2 in a row yet. But with that defense with the Jets, they keep every game close. They're in the mix in every game. And Geno is showing a knack for coming back and, last, fourth quarter drives. So that's where I'm going with the Jets. So we'll go heads up in that, baby.
Both teams
I
are
like it.
scary because you don't know what to expect from them. I mean, the Bengals, they're a lot better at home than they are on the road, right?
They're pretty similar in their setup, too. They're both, like you said,
So
strong front
Defensive
seven,
oriented.
that's a good
defensive
game. I mean,
oriented,
that's a damn good game.
Yeah. I hope there's no push. I want to see someone drink.
It's 6.5, so no
all right,
push.
well, yeah, either way. We'll
Let's
go
call it
6.5.
6.5.
All right.
That's
All
fine.
right.
All right, I'm going to go in the Saints game. I'm taking the over at 49.5. Saints coming off the bye, right?
Versus whom?
Buffalo. And I just see the Saints putting about 40, 42 on their own and stomping out Buffalo. Buffalo could, I think, score a touchdown, 10 points, and get it over. And then to go with that game, actually, my lock is going to be the Saints laying 12. Like you, I hate the big lines usually, or it was 11, right? I hate the big lines usually, but they coming off the bye week, figure out, they get a whole week to game plan, and I had to just kick the shit out of Tad Castle and company. So
Lewis.
Lewis.
Whatever. his
He was
name
thinking
is.
about Rojas.
Oh, yeah, Rojas.
Yeah, I was really tempted
kick your
to,
ass too.
I was really tempted to bring a tease in for tonight. I think there was 5 games, with a 10 plus or more spread.
Yeah.
this
4.
week. 4 or 5. I mean, right on that edge.
This is a great week for teasers.
Oh,
No, it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
horrible one.
No, I think.
Well,
great
I
week.
mean, you had 10 points. I mean, either
Yeah.
way.
Well, that worked out for you the last time you did.
Yeah.
The first time I did
Well,
it,
you
it didn't.
lost.
a
No,
six,
no, the
a
second time I did it, it
6-beer
worked.
teaser.
Teasers are the biggest sucker bets.
Yeah, if you do teases, you can't get points. Or if you get points, you got to take beers along
Oh
with
yeah,
Oh, wow.
definitely.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
tough.
I'm not
No, I
going
didn't.
in.
I didn't.
Don't
I
be
didn't go
looking
with
at
it,
me.
but it just looked tempting.
Yeah, so it's Saints in the over.
All right. My other game is going to be Denver -12 over Washington. I just think that you can't. Peyton Manning's not going to come back with another dud after a loss. You're playing a weak Washington team here. I know that you like the over in this game. Sure, it's going to be an over, right? But Washington's defense is atrocious. They've given up points like every week so far. They haven't really had that strong defensive showing that you're looking for. Obviously, I don't think it's not going to happen against Denver. Peyton Manning's just going to blow it up against these guys. Just common opponents looking at here. Philadelphia kicked the shit out of Washington, and Denver kicked the shit out of Philly. So I like those two games.
I don't like that.
Well, nobody asked you if you liked it. I'm telling you what I like.
I feel like
I'm telling you, I don't like what you like.
Yeah.
you can't compare. You can't compare Washington week 1 to Washington to what they looked like
Very
last
good
week.
point.
You know, I mean,
you can't compare RG3 week 1 to RG3.
Yeah, I think
week
as the
7.
season progresses, teams look different from the first week or from a month ago.
Sorry.
when you compare them to the Eagles or
I just did. So
well, yeah. I mean, but I don't think
He's
it's
an
the same
expert.
exact team.
Anyway, but no, I the thing that's crazy about this right now that not like about 90% of the bets right now are on Washington. Like everybody loves Washington after what they did against Chicago last week.
People suck.
And that's the thing. Like in prime time, like when a team loses in prime time, the public tends to go, what they see in that prime time game because that's the game on. But I think Denver's gonna blow their hole out in this one on Sunday.
Wow, blow their hole out.
Yeah.
All right, last one, my lock. Again, we talked about the big lines. The Monday night game. What line you got on there? Seattle, St. Louis?
10?
Yeah. All right, I'll go 10. St. Louis is a mess. They just lost Sam Bradford.
Buddy.
Who's running the ball for them? Zach Stacy. Who knows with him?
So you don't like the Quinn signing over there?
Yeah, Brady Quinn. Kelly Clemens.
Hey, it was either Quinn or your boy.
Kelly Clemens couldn't beat out Mark Sanchez back in the Jets days. I don't like St. Louis at all. I think they're on the downside. Seattle, maybe a Percy Harvin sighting. Open up that offense a little bit, but they're still playing well enough. That defense, maybe a couple defensive scores. So again, I'm laying 2 10-point games, but I'm locking up Seattle, lock of the week.
Well, yeah, that's also my lock of the week too. Much of the same reason you said. On my notes, I just have here Kellen Clemens is under center, and that's it.
Right,
that's all I have.
Completely agreed.
Seems legit.
And I said that's really all I got on this one. Seems legit.
But we
Make fun of my analysis.
we talk about it all the time about how important the quarterback position is,
right.
And Bradford was playing all right, but now you come in Bradford, he's done, and you come with Kellen Clemens, like that's your guy.
How are they going to move that ball against Seattle?
Right, against
how?
that defense?
Yeah.
How? I'm actually
How?
expecting a couple Seattle defensive touchdowns.
Another
got
guy
him in
that's
the
been,
league, so let's hope
been a huge
so.
bust, Tavon Austin. I mean, really
Yeah.
hasn't done anything.
You know what? Cordarrelle Patterson, same way. If you look at the history of it, take away maybe like a Randy Moss, rookie receivers don't do much in the NFL.
I feel like A.J. Green and Julio Jones broke that in the past couple of years. And so
They're-
No,
okay.
when Dez came in, Dez wasn't big as rookie.
The
year,
absolute
you know?
elite.
Dez got hurt, too, I think, his rookie year.
He's hurt a lot.
Those guys, A.J. Green, I think was the 3rd pick. Julio Jones, the 6th maybe. So there are
These
there are
guys,
outliers, no doubt about it. But for the most part, it's tough to break into the league as a wide receiver. And I think Tavon Austin's still going to be a pretty good player. You got to get him in the right fit, the right system. I think they were trying to gear towards that, but they've had no running game. It's tough that kind of offense. It's tough to play without a running game. I think Tavon down the line will be all right, but. That team right now, like you said, he's not doing much. Chris Givens.
Seattle's on a roll.
There's no what offensive threat do you have? How about Jared Cook? Right, week 1, Jared Cook blows up. Everyone. Oh man, I should have drafted him.
This is what we're waiting for. This is what he was supposed to do all these other years.
And what's Jared Cook? Jared Cook is an athletic freak with no football intelligence at all.
Honey Badger stripped him, and I think that's when Earl's confidence went down. He had a huge game up to that point. And
I think the craziest thing about this year, especially fantasy related, is that even if you're a starting running back in the NFL, you really don't need to be owned or played. Like I took Darrell Richardson just on a bunch of teams, just be like, hey, he's gonna get touches.
Yeah.
And you know what? That didn't do me shit.
How you doing in the 14A league?
I don't think I checked this week. I was in the 5th spot.
Yeah.
Last week.
You are in the 8th spot now.
Yeah, no. Well, you know what?
But again,
You're not far out.
Again, from 6 to 11,
Yeah.
you got a 24-point differential.
Well, I mean, Brady killed me last week. Adrian Peterson. I had Jimmy Graham on a bye week.
Yeah.
So.
But this is fun now. Like the 11th place team still has a shot.
Yeah. At least to make the playoffs because
Yeah,
no one's beating me.
It's very competitive.
Well, once you get in, I mean, that's
just like your name states, you're a douche.
No, that's for all of you.
What do you got left, Debs?
Well, actually, I think we're all going with big spreads on the lock. So I'm going to go with San Fran on the road at Jacksonville. I got a -17.
Is that a London game?
That is London. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's
you
right.
You got 16 on that. Take
16? I'll take 16.
All right.
Going across the pond.
I mean, you could say the same exact thing about St. Louis that you would say about Jacksonville. I mean, I don't think that they're going to go winless this whole year, but I don't think that they're winning this game. I don't think they're coming close.
Yeah.
Well, look at it. The only thing in their favor is the travel to London.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that
San
plays
Fran's
well.
got to come all the way
Yeah.
across. You know, they got the hell.
I
of a
think that
travel
works to
there.
their
They
benefit.
can go through China.
And they
Just
the
dig a
travel
tunnel.
agent, Al Walsh.
Start digging a tunnel.
Unless they want those frequent flyer miles, they
Yeah,
can go
but
all the way
I think
over.
that defense just dominates the game, and even if they score 20 points, and I think Kaepernick's
It's
starting
not
to come
flat.
around.
They're starting to run the spread a little bit more. Where
Yeah.
Harbaugh kind of shoot it early on.
Yeah.
Now he's starting to go with it.
But, you know, I mean, they put up 31 last week, and, I mean, that game was really not even that much of a game. I mean, they were up by about 24-0, I want to say, until Tennessee finally put some points on the board.
It was a few weeks ago on Thursday night. You really seen San Fran turn a corner there when Frank Gore had that big game, first one of the season. And
Yeah.
I think they're starting to roll now and see
The-
what we've seen the last few years out of them.
The over-under in this game is 40. I think I can already call the score of the game. It's going to be 35-3 San Francisco.
Right-
I can
right
call it
under
already. I can call it
Right
already.
under the-
The San
I'll
Fran,
take it.
San Fran and
With
the
that
Colts
spread,
did that to me.
with
It-
that
it
spread,
was
I
like
can see that
42.
being the score.
If I'm chugging 8 beers before that already, so I'll need that. I'll need a
Either
W somewhere this week.
31-3 or 35-3, something in that area.
Anyone got picks left?
Yeah, I got an upset
Richie got
left.
an upset.
Don't know if they'll win, but I like the 5.5 points. Give me the G-men.
All right. Don't
The
want
Eagles,
6?
the Eagles couldn't. No, 5.5's all right.
Look at this
It's
guy.
at 5,
He-
and I have
he's
it at
confident in
I have
his
it at
shit.
5.5. So I'm
right.
not trying to. No, just the Eagles. They really couldn't put anything together last week. I know Vic's playing this week, but maybe the Giants can ride a little bit of a wave here for a week and keep it close at least.
there goes your undefeated streak.
Well, all right.
No, I tell you what. You know what else I like? I do like the under in this game. I don't have the balls to take it, but there's something
What is it?
interesting. It's 51.5. But the thing, it's a divisional game. You know, like these games are hard fought
So they're always
games.
tough,
You know,
yeah.
and that's another reason I like the Giants too. You know, like just because. You know, the last time that these two teams played, I know that, you know, they prepared the whole time for Vic. Nick Foles comes in, puts that game over the top. But a divisional game, Philly beat them already. Giants got their win last week. They could be a little jazzed up.
Right,
on
the
short
Giants
week.
might have had them if Vic stayed in the game.
I agree.
You know?
and right with the Giants there, Vic, you know, coming off a hamstring, he said he might be playing at 80%. So
Yeah.
if Vic, he can go untouched and
just
re-aggravate
pull
that
up.
hamstring, and then they're bringing in Matt Barkley
That's
to
a big
3 picks
sissy.
last week. You know, then you like the Giants there. So that's a scary game going with the Eagles with Mike Vick, because who knows how long he's even going
Right.
to play. But
Yeah.
if Vic plays that whole game, the Eagles are going to win.
Well, I tell you what, Philly they're on a 9-game home losing streak.
Yeah,
you know
which
that's
is,
something
really-
that you can't be too
Which is
too
weird.
proud
Yeah,
of.
I
You know,
mean-
the two teams below them, Jacksonville and Tampa Bay.
Wow.
You know,
Their
who don't
fans are gonna
have
start
who
to
don't
assault
have.
them soon.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know.
Well, I mean, plus after all the hype with Chip Kelly to start the year, you know, I mean, after they looked so good in that first game.
That's so
Well,
funny.
here's
Everybody
another
bought
thing.
right into
Yeah.
that, and then
The Eagles are 3-4, and you know what? If they win and the Cowboys win, you know they're both at 4-4. Or if the Cowboys lose, they'll both be at 4-4. Cowboys have that advantage just because of the head-to-head.
Yeah.
But you know the Eagles are not out of this race whatsoever.
No.
You know they're still in it too. But I think the Eagles could win here, maybe by 3. But again, a divisional game like that, it's going to be hard fought, and especially with these two teams, it always is.
I think the one strong point of the Giants' D, at least this whole year, has been the run defense. Actually, I mean, they faced a lot of good running backs so far. I mean, McCoy once already, Jamal Charles, Adrian Peterson, and really didn't let up much versus those guys. I mean, you know, maybe decent games, but maybe 6 yards and a touchdown at most.
Right.
And so I think if you could stop their run and basically just cover Deshaun Jackson, I mean, Eagles got nobody else that can burn you.
Well,
I mean, you know.
look at the last game before Vic got hurt and went out. I mean, how many first downs did Vic run for? So I think if
Yeah.
Vic plays, you know, he's an X factor in that game. You know, and I think they win the game, but I don't trust Vic, so that's why I stayed away from that one. Because I think, you know, he takes a shot, or he didn't even get hit
Yeah.
to come out of that game the last time.
Yeah,
they
it was
played,
like a
so.
60-yard run they ran
Yeah.
for, and then tear.
Done.
ACL. All right, we want to run with who you got?
We got time.
I guess so. You got time, Mason?
15 minutes of fame. Let's go.